Police refuse to give up hope in the search for Parker Wells.
We're asking that any realtors or any landlords that are aware of vacant properties, check them and check them again.
Searching a few crucial streets may be the key to finding the missing 11-year-old. Plus, new details about a train that derailed in South Calgary last week.
This guy, he's still on the back of that train. He's joyriding on the train.
Did a trespasser cause several cars to topple off the tracks into a slough? And keeping cognitive decline at bay.
The older you get, the more you need to be active.
The science proves it, the link between your speed and your brain.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. The search for 11-year-old Parker Wells continues and it is intensifying. Police are clear. They still believe Parker can be found alive and efforts are not being scaled back. Dozens of police officers spent today combing through areas of West Nose Creek Park and Nose Hill Park. They searched near water and through tall grass. Hundreds of officers are involved and they have reviewed now more than 400 tips and 1,000 video clips. Police are still urging the public to check their own properties. Jordan Canagan is in Thorncliffe tonight. And Jordan, hundreds of people are actively looking for Parker still.
Tara, from police officers to members who live in this community to volunteers from all over, some of which who are organizing and meeting behind me, there are hundreds and hundreds of people who are still part of this active search for the missing boy. And police saying today that it is very likely it'll be a member of the public who helps find missing Parker. And they have several streets that they are zeroing in on as well. There are 6 streets in the Northeast that they are saying are crucial at this point in the search. People who live in these areas are being asked to search their properties again. They're also asking realtors and landlords aware of vacant properties in these areas to look in those homes as well. If you are away on vacation and live on these streets or know someone who is, contact police to conduct a search. Parker was last seen just before 1 p.m. last Thursday along Travis Crescent. He was shirtless with dark shorts and black headphones. Now, officers also going door to door today asking for permission to search inside people's homes, checking cupboards, under beds, and anywhere a small child may hide.
We never lose hope. We have a long-term missing persons unit that deals with missing persons that are 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old. So we never give up investigating. We never give up hope. But let me reiterate, we are far from believing that Parker must be dead. We still believe there is a strong hope that he is alive, and I see no reason to abandon that.
Now, Parker is neurodivergent and nonverbal, but police today saying that it is their understanding that if he were to find his way into someone's home, he would be able to use a tap or a fridge to get himself food and water. Police also releasing a video today with tips on how to search your own properties, potentially looking at some areas you may not have thought of. You can find all of that information and more on our website. Tara, though, the message today that there is still hope and there is still a massive search underway.
Okay, Jordan, thank you for that update. We are learning more about a major train derailment in our city last week. CTV Calgary has obtained dispatch audio recordings. They reveal a man had been spotted on the train before and after it somehow became uncoupled. Calgary transit operators frantically called it in, and within the hour, the train had derailed. Tyson Fedor has this exclusive report.
There was a guy attached to the side of the train as he was going by. He wasn't one of the workers, and he looked like he was in a panic mode.
Sir, you said there was somebody attached to the train, on the big train that went by?
Calgary transit operators were quick to spot a man hanging off the side of a CPKC freight train in South Calgary last week.
The southbound CP rail train, right on the last car, there was this guy struggling, hanging on to a side latch on the train.
This guy, he's still on the back of that train. He's joyriding on the train.
These audio recordings are publicly available through Broadcastify. It was around 7:15 on July 13th when transit operators notified dispatchers of unusual activity on the CPKC train that morning, the railway running parallel with the LRT Red Line. Staff saw the man on the train around Fish Creek Lacombe Station and reported that the train had uncoupled.
Do you think the one that got uncoupled is nobody's driving it?
Nobody's driving it. It's a police run. waterway train.
The man described as having brown hair wearing jeans was once again spotted on the back of that southbound train around 162nd Avenue Southwest before the train derailed south of that.
After that train, there was another train that was going backwards.
Around 7:40 a.m., CPKC operators were also speaking with dispatch colleagues.
8.12, it's derailed. For yourself, you're all okay. Do you require any medical services?
RTC had told us that there was a trespasser on our train. Sounds like there's cars on the ground at the tail end of our train around mile 108.
13 rail cars derailed carrying loads of lumber, plywood, propane, and argon. Most cars ending up in the Pritis Slough, but officials said there was no environmental damage to the wetlands. CPKC tells CTV News all the rail cars have been removed and that it cannot confirm if the man was on the train. The Transportation Safety Board says because the investigation is in its infancy, it's not at liberty to discuss additional details at this time.
And Tyson joins us from the Southwest tonight. Tyson, one person was taken to hospital.
Well, Tara, no one from the crew was injured, but CTV News has learned that one man was taken to hospital from the derailment site across the slough here behind me, but that person was not affiliated with CPKC. EMS saying that they did transport one adult from the site, a third-party individual, and that individual was in serious but stable, non-life-threatening condition. Tara?
Okay, Tyson Fedor reporting. Tyson, thank you. Fire crews were busy battling a house fire in the extreme heat this afternoon. They were called to Martin Brook Link Northeast around 1:30 today. They were met with smoke and flames pouring through the roof. Crews got the fire out, but the residence has extensive damage. It's not known if anyone was home at the time. The fire is now under investigation. Smoke has moved into Calgary again. It's wafting from wildfires burning in BC. The air quality index is currently sitting at 5 or moderate. Environment and Climate Change Canada says it could pose a health risk for some Calgarians. Let's bring Danielle in now. Is it going to get worse?
It may get a little bit worse this evening. Yeah, we may bump up to a 6. So again, the higher number, the worse the air quality. And here's the legend once again up top here. We're at a 5 in Calgary right now, but check out Edmonton, Red Deer at a 4, Lethbridge at 4, Medicine Hat at 3. So we have some of the poorer air quality in the city at the moment. And again, we've been ranging from 2 to 6 throughout the day today. And that's really the possibility as we go through the rest of this week. At times, we will have waves of smokier air that will push us up to that moderate part of the scale and give us the hazy conditions we have out there right now. All right, also a heat warning in place. So that's a huge story in the weather as well. Calgary, yes, included in this, and much of southern Alberta. 28 degrees right now. The winds are calm. And when you head through these next 24 hours, the key thing is, yes, we will remain with an air quality low to moderate at times, but it will be even hotter tomorrow. Tomorrow's daytime high, 31, Tara.
Wow. Okay, Danielle, thank you. Police can continue to hold on to cell phones they seized from former Mayor Jyoti Gondek and former councillor Sean Chu. Gondek and Chu's lawyers argued the phones should be returned, but a judge ruled police can keep them until March of 2027. Police are trying to unlock the phones as well as an iPad of Chu's as an investigation continues into alleged municipal corruption. No charges have been laid. Investigators allege Gondek and Chu were involved in an influence peddling scheme where council reconsidered a change in a bylaw to allow for a townhome development in exchange for campaign donations that exceeded the allowable amount. The Iranian conflict has spread, leading oil prices now to climb again. In Yemen, located off the Arabian Peninsula, rebels say they've cut off a key shipping route, which was being used as a workaround from the Strait of Hormuz. Tyler Barrow explains.
The conflict in the Middle East is widening. The war, which started in Iran and led to trade disruption through the Strait of Hormuz, now has Yemen's Houthi rebels involved. The rebels say they have closed off the Bab el-Mandab Strait. It is a vital passage to get product to Asia. Both the UAE and Saudi Arabia were exporting millions of barrels daily through the strait.
Key workarounds that helped offset the loss of oil from the Strait of Hormuz. So now that workaround is also under threat.
This now has lifted West Texas intermediate prices from around $67 a barrel at the beginning of July to just under $87. And it sounds like it will keep climbing.
I mean, I think on the face of it, I would say oil prices should be moving higher. But again, we don't know how President Trump's going to respond.
While the world waits on whatever Trump says or ends up doing, it has woken up to the rebel group. This military expert describes them as a proxy for Iran to challenge Saudi Arabia.
What is clearly being indicated that this conflict, that the Iranians have the ability to, in fact, cause a lot more pain than the immediate area where the Americans are attacking.
And drivers should brace for gas prices cutting deeper into their pockets.
We will see prices at the pump move back up again to reflect the higher feedstock prices associated with rising oil prices.
Trump's ongoing war with no end in sight has become a pain point for consumers.
It's very frustrating because, what's the deal? I mean, and I got to blame the orange clown in Washington.
It's kind of frustrating more so because you never know day to day what it's going to cost to go.
Something that's out of our control, but we really want prices to go down. It's just gone insane.
In the latest budget tabled in February, the province's projected price for West Texas Intermediate was $60.50 US a barrel. It is set to unveil an updated forecast by the end of August. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
The province recently rolled out its $100 energy rebate. In a statement to CTV News, it did not provide clarity on whether Albertans can expect further help. Canada's premiers are in Charlottetown this week to discuss some of the biggest issues their provinces are facing. Chief among them is healthcare spending. Leaders are urging the federal government to provide provinces with more health funding. Though, as Tim Brooke explains, some believe that money should come with stipulations.
The Council of the Federation Summit is an annual event. And on Wednesday, Canada's premiers brought along what feels like an annual request.
Intent under the Health Transfer Act was for a 50-50 funding between the province and the country. And today, the country's portion is down to 21%. So we need to see that come back up.
The country's leaders want the PM to revisit federal health transfers. They say growing populations have made the file too big to tackle alone.
Whether you're a proud Canadian, whether you're in line with Carney's investment agenda, or whether you just want to have a long life and prosper, I think the case for investing in healthcare is very, very clear.
And there were other health concerns here, too. Outside the meetings, health workers, advocacy groups, and unions protested the system's management. The group does want more funding for provinces, but it also wants assurances that money will be spent on patients.
Every province should be held accountable for the transfers that they get, and they should be spending them on healthcare, and they should be bolstering healthcare.
One of this group's biggest qualms is Alberta's Bill 11. The dual practice model allows physicians to work in both public and private systems. Some believe it's a push towards American-style care, though Alberta's premier doesn't see it that way. Danielle Smith claims her province is trending in the right direction thanks to more choice and a new panel approach.
I'm happy to share that learning with other premiers, but it does seem that team-based practice and the certainty of a panel of arrangement has been one of the keys to successes in Alberta.
Laura Meyer still doesn't see it that way. She's battling stomach cancer and says too much of that fight has been waged in ER waiting rooms.
Definitely over 26 hours, over the 3 days.
And those long waits have convinced Meyer it's going to take a lot to solve Canada's healthcare problems.
Their biggest, I think, is having more staff in the ER, more doctors available, because even the night that I was there was only one doctor on call.
Tim joins us now. Tim, the Prime Minister arrives in PEI for this meeting tonight.
Yes, Tara, Prime Minister Mark Carney is going to attend a gala hosted by all of the premiers in Charlottetown tonight. That'll likely be a little bit of a lighter event. And then the more formal meetings and conversations start tomorrow morning. Expect the PM and the premiers to, yes, discuss health care, but also likely, Tara, first and foremost on that meeting agenda, these new American tariffs and exactly how our country plans to respond.
Okay, Tim Brooke reporting. Tim, thank you. Just ahead, twin twisters. It was not one but two tornadoes that tore through Rocky Mountain House on the weekend. We'll tell you just how strong they were. And highlighting the need for swimming skills in Drowning Prevention Week. We're in the pool next. We are getting a first-hand account of what it's like for victims of BC's wildfires. A couple who recently moved to the Boston Bar area has a camera on their property, and they watched as the raging fire approached their farm.
You know, you can see the sparks are falling everywhere. There's a tree on fire.
Tammy Delapato saw in real time on her doorbell camera as wildfire near Boston Bar roared toward her 100-acre property and farmhouse in North Bend on Tuesday night.
My God, it was horrific, actually. You could see the fire coming up behind the chicken coops. You could see one completely flare up and burn, and that was the little turkey's house. The structure protection team, they went in, they had their fire gear on, because the sprinklers were going, everything was pretty wet, but you could still see the glow of the fire in the ravine.
The video feed cut out at 5 a.m. when the generator died. By then, the Delapatos had taken off to Surrey. Then this afternoon, they got word their farmhouse is still standing and their animals are safe. We are learning more about 2 tornadoes that swept through central Alberta last weekend and a third near Edson. As CTV's Amanda Anderson reports, the wet weather is likely the reason behind Alberta's most active tornado season in a decade.
It's not like what you see in the movies. It's very, very more real than what a person could imagine. Yeah, it was way too close for comfort.
Justin Evernden captured the tornado touching down about 10 kilometers from where he was working near Robb, Alberta.
It was quite large, and you could see it kicking up the dirt and the trees and everything else from where I was at. So basically, I jumped in my truck and tried to get out of there.
He says it caused significant damage at an oil field site before heading through a valley. 24 hours later, this was in Rocky Mountain House, where not 1, but 2 tornadoes touched down.
It's pretty rare to have what we call twin tornadoes. It's a result of a process known as supercell cycling.
Both given an EF2 rating by the Northern Tornadoes Project. The first tornado that hit the south end of town left a path of destruction about 7.5 kilometers long and 1 kilometer wide. The second, that started nearby and traveled to the Codner area, was 10.6 kilometers long and 600 meters wide.
The first one it's not necessarily an anomaly in our database, but it was incredibly wide, whereas the second tornado was more typical in terms of the length to width ratio there.
At least 50 structures were damaged along both tornado tracks. The Northern Tornadoes Project says our soggy summer is likely behind such an active season.
That moisture is just fuel for thunderstorms. That's creating more thunderstorms and thus more tornadoes.
Alberta has now had 27 tornadoes, 4 more than 2019, the most active season in the past decade. The average is anywhere from 15 to 20. The season and the risk are far from over.
Put as many walls between you and the tornado as possible when you get a tornado warning.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Let's bring Danielle back in for our 5-day forecast. We have some hot days ahead.
Yes, a lot of heat. In fact, if you thought today was hot, just wait till you see what the next couple days bring. Some communities in southern Alberta will get closer to that 40 mark when we're talking degrees. Yes, Medicine Hat, for example, by Saturday should be at a high of 38. And that's not even including humidity. All right, so let's talk temperatures. We'll start with all the heat talk first. 32 is the actual temperature in Medicine Hat right now. We'll look at humidity in just a second and the Humidex. 28 is the ambient temperature in Calgary, 30 Drumheller to Brooks to Lethbridge. Now when we factor in humidity with that Humidex, it feels closer to 35 in Medicine Hat, 33 in Brooks and Drumheller, and 30 in Calgary and Lethbridge. So, oh boy, is it already hot. We have heat warnings in place, and heat warnings really look at least 2 consecutive days with daytime highs in those lower 30s and overnight lows in those mid-teens. That's for most of southern Alberta. It's a bit of a different criteria when you look at the southeast corner. It will be hotter in the southeast corner. As I've already explained, we're going to get into those high 30s in some communities in the southeast over the coming days. Basically, it's hot overall. Calgary is under the heat warning. Airdrie isn't. Banff isn't. But it will still be almost as hot in these communities as well. And this is, when we look at the hottest days, this will be the next 3 days. It's going to be hot for the next 2 weeks, but the hottest of the days will be these next 3. When we look at upper air analysis, this is why we're getting this heat. We're under a ridge of high pressure. We will continue to be under this ridge of high pressure for days and days and days. It's basically a pattern that we're stuck in. The jet stream is up through central Alberta. So it basically acts, this ridge of high pressure, as a protective bubble. Lots of sunshine, and the heat is able to build and build and build. So when I show you the long range forecast, you'll certainly see a difference in the coming days compared to what we even just had today. Radar and satellite, not a whole lot going on in most of southern Alberta, but just to zoom in to show you what's happening closer to Serial, for example, where we had a big storm roll through this area already yesterday. These are weaker storms, maybe producing some smaller size hail. We're not looking at severe thunderstorms in the area for today, but yes, thunderstorms are possible east of the QE2 for the next couple of hours. When we look at the futurecast, there is a small chance of thunderstorm development down Highway 2, so basically Claresholm over to Lethbridge. Small chance we're going to see that in Calgary. And then there's that chance of it arriving once again, even up the QE2 later on Friday around those supper hours. Again, it will be very isolated, very sporadic, but we have a small chance of seeing that later in the day in Calgary for tomorrow. 31 is our high for tomorrow, 32 for Friday and Saturday. When we look at air quality, we're looking at ranging from low and at times up to moderate, and that really goes for the rest of this week at least. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast.
A truck rolled on Stony Trail near Crowchild this morning. It happened around 5 a.m. The driver suffered no life-threatening injuries. It is National Drowning Prevention Week, a time when the Life Saving Society reminds Canadians that basic water safety skills can save lives. And One Calgary program is helping make sure that cost isn't a barrier to learning. Kevin Green reports.
At the Forest Lawn Outdoor Pool, dozens of Calgary kids are learning to swim. The free Swim for Life program is giving children who might not otherwise have the opportunity to take swim lessons the chance to learn not just to swim, but to stay safe around and in the water.
It's having the opportunity for every kid to have that dream. It's every kid that deserves to be in the water, but safely.
The Life Saving Society calls this a basic life skill.
Being able to tread water for 1 minute so that you have enough time to kind of calm yourself and know where to swim to safety, and being able to swim 50 meters could potentially save your life.
Parents know what these free lessons teach could save their children's lives.
If he goes out with his friends, or if he's by a river or anywhere by himself or with friends or us, then he knows the necessities of how to adapt and how to stay safe.
The lessons are already building confidence in the water.
I think I'm moderate at swimming, but I'd like to learn to get better at.
Those lessons take place in a controlled environment, but most drownings happen in open water, where water is often cold and conditions can change quickly.
When it comes to being in, on, and around the water, it's not wearing a life jacket, it's drinking alcohol and doing drugs, it's going out there by yourself.
In Calgary, it is the law to wear a life jacket while on the river. It's a law not everyone always obeys.
To be fair, I have it on most of the time. I want to say 90% of the time.
The Life Saving Society says the $500 fine pales against a potential death by drowning, pointing out 9 people have died in the water so far this year in Alberta, up from 5 at the same point last year. It also warns against swimming or boating alone, saying always keep your eyes on your companions in the water.
Drowning does not look like it does in the movies. It's often silent and it happens very, very quickly. So the best way to make sure that an incident does not happen is by preventing it.
Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
National Drowning Prevention Week is held at this time because statistically more drownings occur this week than any other time of the year. Friday is World Drowning Prevention Day. There was a big turnout today for Job Fair at the Saddledome. We'll see what employment opportunities are up for grabs and what it says about the state of Calgary's current labor market. And one more reason to get up and get moving. A new study reveals the link between your speed and your brain. There was a big turnout today for a job fair at the Saddledome. Hundreds of people lined up to be part of the final season in one of the most unique arenas. The amount of job seekers is also a sign of positive growth in our city. Moses Woldu explains.
The line is long as many job seekers look to be part of the Saddledome's curtain call, like Chris Roy.
What kid doesn't want to work with an NHL team in any capacity? I mean, if you're a Canadian boy growing up, it's the dream.
Others, like Glory Lopez, are in search of their first paid gig outside of the home.
Unless you consider taking care of my little brother as a job, then yeah. But this is like my first ever real job interview, and I'm a little bit antsy, but I'm gonna get through it.
The two are among hundreds who showed up for the first of 2 job fairs hosted by Calgary Sports and Entertainment.
I know the job market can be a challenge right now, and people are looking for work, but it's the fact that they're wanting to select us as a possible employer is quite flattering for us.
CSEC says they've received more than 800 online applications on top of those who showed up in person to vie for a variety of positions. There's everything from security guards to fan experience workers to conversion team members. Those are the people who transform the arena from a hockey rink to a concert venue. Martin Sheelis says the demand is so great, they're even hiring on the spot.
We need the workforce. We've got a lot coming around the bend. Training and onboarding, all that stuff takes place before the season starts. So we're looking for immediate hires right away.
The latest job numbers report in Calgary shows the number of people looking for work is outpacing growth in the labor market since November 2025. One economist says it's a positive step despite the city's unemployment numbers staying at 7%.
Alberta is in a much better position. There is more hiring happening in this province, and that's really good news. And as a result, you're seeing people come to Alberta to take advantage of those opportunities.
Opportunities both Roy and Lopez hope to take advantage of.
I don't just want to stay at home all day and bed rot. So and doing something productive is a good thing to do.
Just to be able to say that you worked there is a huge, boost to anybody's ego.
Moses Woldou, CTV News, Calgary.
That job fair will resume Thursday at the Saddledome, running from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Still to come, the Gordie Howe Bridge will open with less fanfare. We're learning more about what Canada gave up to bridge the gap. Stay with us. How fast you walk may play a big role in the health of your brain as you age. A newly published study links quickly paced seniors with less cognitive decline. Alicia Fieldberg has more about these super movers.
Staying fast on your feet may be just as important for keeping your mind sharp as doing brain teasers and crossword puzzles. It's not surprising to these fitness buffs in their 70s.
Part of healthy living as we get old to keep the mind and body active.
As you get older, you have to continue moving, or otherwise you just fall apart.
Researchers behind a study in neurology journals found people in their 80s who maintain a much quicker walking pace than their peers are far more likely to stay mentally sharp. Researchers say these super movers walk as fast as people about 30 years younger, and as they aged, they tended to preserve the volume of their brain's hippocampus, the part associated with memory.
We're seeing that the super movers are experiencing about 50% less cognitive decline compared to their counterparts who are not super movers. That's pretty significant.
At the average walk speed for people in their 80s, you can cover a kilometer in about 19 minutes. Super movers may be able to walk a kilometer in about 14 minutes.
I would recommend going 4 miles an hour, which is 6.4 kilometers an hour, or greater on the treadmill.
While this latest study focuses on walking, other research indicates the type of movement doesn't matter so much as long as you stay active.
We still go out at night and we go dancing on the weekends and stuff like that, so we're trying to keep young.
Since I've retired, I'm at the gym more. Pickleball the other 2 days of the week. I think maybe it helps to prevent dementia a little bit.
If you're consistent and keep up the pace, it could pay off for both your muscles and your mind. Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Researchers analyzed the data of 4,000 older adults enrolled in a long-term aging study. They found the fastest 9% tended to preserve the hippocampal volume, despite similar levels of Alzheimer's pathology as their peers. So interesting. Got to keep moving.
Okay, let's do it.
Well, on a hot day, is there anything better than hitting an outdoor water park? These two otters at the Miller Zoo in Quebec know where the action is. They're enjoying the water slide too. These little guys are fed 7 times a day in order to replicate their natural eating habits. The zoo says all the little treats and the little splashes are a great way for them to stay active and cool in the summer heat.
Oh yeah, they're so active. Of course they eat a lot. Look at up and down, up and down, up and down.
All day long.
It's like my kids.
Yeah. Well, you can't have a birthday without a little cake. Oh, this is also the Miller Zoo in Quebec. This is Winnie. She is celebrating her 18th birthday. That's a bit of a milestone. Most black bears don't tend to live this long in the wild, so celebrating this birthday with a tasty and cool fruit cake is a must.
I mean, that's cute on the video. Okay, I'll say that.
Says the woman who's terrified of bears.
Yeah.
Cute from a distance.
Right.
Well, finally, dogs are known to do tricks, but this trick is self-taught. This is Alva, the German pinscher. She likes to grab her owner's arm and then tuck it behind her head. She looks like a little fruit bat when she does that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, her owner doesn't know why she does that. Can't remember when it started, but she's always done it, and it seems to be her favorite little trick. She looks so funny when she does that. That's cute.
Yeah, like a little bat. You're right.
Well, Alphabet reported its 12th consecutive quarter of strong earnings. Details about how Google's AI played a big role in the growth is ahead in our business report.
Okay, Skywatch weather camera. We're still sitting at a 5 on that air quality health index, and you can see all the smoke off in the air there. So it's not the worst quality in the world, but you definitely don't breathe in and think this is the freshest air ever. Where moderate is okay, and we're going to be moderate at times over these next couple of days.
A Calgary actor says he wants to see a celebration to say farewell to a water slide that he frequented as a kid in the city's northeast.
Maybe a celebration of life, a memorial, or hear me out, one final teen night for all the adults that grew up on this slide.
Actor Andrew Fung posted on social media he spent a lot of his teenage years riding down the Thunder Run water slide at the Village Square Leisure Centre. The ride opened in 1994 and has reached the end of its lifespan now. It will be replaced by a new slide as part of year-long renovations. Before it shuts down at the end of August, though, Fung has called on Mayor Jeremy Farkas and Councillor Andre Chabot to create one last celebration for all the millennials who grew up on that slide. In response on Instagram, Mayor Farkas has simply said, please stand by. It's not a no. Tonight on Golf Tips, Scott tries to help Glenn get out of the bunker.
Mackenzie Meadows Golf Tips with PGA Pro Scott Orban.
We're on the par 4 18th at Mackenzie Meadows, and Scott, last time I played, I was atrocious out of the bunker. Yeah. I need help.
Yeah, you said you were just leaving him on the lip of the bunker.
Yep.
So just a little flop up and go ahead and line up. You know, we've got a fairly lengthy shot here. Okay. So Glenn sets up, and he does what we see most golfers do. He opens that club face up. Now, look at that little stick is aimed right towards me.
Yeah.
You know, that club comes through there. It's not going to go very far. And yet you've got about 20 yards to the pin.
Right.
So what I want you to do, Glenn, is I want you to use a square club face. Now, this is something you're not familiar with. And I love watching Bryson DeChambeau do this. He squares up his body and just sits there and hits them close all day long. So let's take a couple shots with a square club face. And you see it comes out of there with a little conviction.
Yeah.
And rolls down, and you've got a chance to make that putt. But the real key here is, folks, is don't get carried away with opening that club face. Go ahead and hit another one. All right. It's a little more aggressive, but out. Okay, now, Glenn, for the last one, let's see you just open it up a little bit.
Just the time.
So you're just going to take it
a little bit?
Like to 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Maybe just past midnight. And now it goes a little higher. And look at that shot.
Yeah, I like it.
But start with that square club face. Get yourself some confidence out of the bunker. And then you can tweak it open just a little bit. Don't get carried away opening it up. My caddy fees are going to be large this year.
Buddy.
Don't get carried away, Glenn. Don't get carried away. Well, it's a bit smoky out there if you're maybe hitting the driving range tonight or something.
Yeah, smoky. And boy, do you have to deal with some heat if you're going to do a long day of golf in the whole 18 holes. Oh boy, 31 degrees is our high tomorrow. Today's high was 28, so to put that in perspective, even hotter over these next few days. 32 degrees for Friday and Saturday. Our air quality health index low to moderate, which is what we've had for the past 48 hours, and that's what we can continue. So it will be fine at times, and at times it will get a little hazy and smoky just like it is right now. All right, and again, these next 3 days are the hottest of the next 2 weeks, but it will be hot for the next 2 weeks. Weather Window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. And check out this picture. How wonderful is this? Nancy Twiddell sent this in from Waterton.
Beautiful shot. Thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.